All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode this Wednesday, January 25th, 2017. This is 22 Minutes with Jayson. That's me. I'm the lender side of things, and he is Stefan, the realtor side of things.
Sorry about that. Yeah, taking my medicine.
The I don't know, sexy voice. I don't know who has Moore
I don't
sexy.
think this is a sexy voice. Like, here's right. I'm the sexy voice realtor.
Yeah, you're sexy voice realtor.
If anybody wants to call in sick today, I will make that call for you.
There you go.
Because they won't know who it is. I can be like, "Hey, this is Barbara. Yeah, I'm not coming in today. I have the voice. I should go on Fiverr today and tell people I'll call in sick for them for $5."
Yeah, there you go. You'll earn an annual salary in 2 hours for that one. Hey, we are together 22 minutes, and we hope to entertain you, but more importantly, educate you about what's happening in the real estate world. So if you're watching us there on Facebook, please like our page. We're trying to get to 1,000, and if you've already liked it, please ask your friends to go over and like our page. We really, really would appreciate that. If you're watching us there on Periscope, show us some love. Throw us some hearts our way. We'd appreciate that. Follow us as well. Everyone out there on YouTube, in the YouTube world, give us that thumbs up and subscribe. We'd appreciate that as well. So thank you all for tuning in today.
Before we do the tweet quote of the day, let's look at that Periscope numbers. Do we got somebody?
We got two people. We got two people on Periscope.
Tell them hi.
Hello, Periscope.
Because before you guys got on, when there was 0 people, now there's a handful. Before you guys got on, the rumor was that Periscope was dead. So, yeah, but we just want to hear from you guys at Periscope. If you guys can hear us, especially if you can hear me with my no voice today, give us a like out there to let us know that Periscope is alive and well, please.
You know, it's funny because every time you mention, hey, Periscope, they disappear.
Oh,
now there's nobody. We called them. We called them out.
Who was I talking to? Yeah, right.
Hey, they see me. Oh my God, Big Brother, they see me.
Right.
I'm gonna get out of here.
Yeah. Shame on you.
Shame on you for looking at me.
Leaving us.
Yeah. This is the modern day peeping Tom.
Right.
But we're okay with it. We want you to peep in and join the conversation. So
get in there and join us. Hey,
let's get to today's tweet quote of the day. This is a deep one, and this one is provided by my wife, Michelle Bates.
She has her own quote.
Well, it's not really provided by her, but she sent it to me in a text and said, "Hey, you should use this tomorrow. This is a really good one," and it is a good one. So let's get to today's tweet quote of the day. And it's kind of small, so I had to.
Oh, that looks like a big one.
It is a big quote. And I'm sorry you guys heard that in the background, but that's all right. So I had to print this off today because I can't read that quote, right? But this is from the Dalai Lama, and I give a little shout out there in my tweet there from my wife. And also use the hashtag 22minutesaz if you want to reach out to the show. Anyway, this tweet here today says the Dalai Lama, when asked what surprised him the most about humanity, he answered, man, M-A-N, because he sacrifices his health in order to make money. Then he sacrifices money to recuperate his health. And then he's so anxious about the future that he does not enjoy the present. The result being that he does not live in the present or the future. He lives as if he's never going to die. And then he dies having never really lived. Pretty deep quote. And it's kind of a lot of things that we follow, right? I mean, we kind of follow this little insanity.
All the ants marching, like the Dave Matthews song. You know, I mean, if we want to get deep on a wacky Wednesday, I don't know. This should be more of a Reflection Friday.
I know, right?
But yeah, you know, I like that quote. I've seen it a few times and it's circulated around the Facebook stuff. But yeah, I try to live a little bit like, you know, live in the moment. You know, that's the other thing. Let's not focus so much about where we're trying to get to that we can't take a moment and laugh at who we are today.
Right. Exactly right. Wise words there by the Dalai Lama. So tell us, well, should we do the intro here? Or should you tell us what's... Okay, let's do the intro. All right, there's the intro. Now it's official. We are on Wacky Wednesday.
All
So,
right.
what's wacky in your world, man? Obviously, your voice.
My voice is
What's
wacky.
you called me before the show, and it was kind of crazy what you were going through.
Let me tell you a little bit about my morning. Um, I have to take my kid to kindergarten,
Yeah,
and so we we're doing fine. I think we're on schedule. We get in the car. My car doesn't have a key. It has one of those little round things that when you're in the car, then it starts. You press the button to start.
yeah,
Well, that battery died, so my car doesn't work. So then I had to go back in the house, grab the other one, and that one's dead too. I think it might be because it's cold. I'm not sure, but so I don't have a car. But it's good news because I only live about 2 streets away from the school. So I said, Alex, let's get out of the car. Let's walk to school. So we get out of the car and I press the garage door button and I do my little ninja move while the garage door shuts.
yeah.
And I get to school just in time. We got about 2 minutes left. So we did fine. And then I start walking back home and I realize that all my stuff is in the garage, like my keys. At least I had my phone on me. But I'm locked out of the house at this point. So my plan was, because I'm not feeling good, that I was just going to go take him to school and maybe lay down, just recuperate. But so then I'm outside of my house. So I call up a coworker, Judith, that she doesn't live too far away. She came to pick me up, but I started walking, and she met me probably half a mile away from my house, maybe a quarter mile.
Yeah.
But I figured I can't get home. I can't get inside until my wife gets home at 5. So I'm here. I'm here working. That's why I said it's God's will that brought me here. I didn't want to be here today.
The show must go on.
Let's go on. So, yeah, I'm supposed to be here for the show. That's obviously it. That's what God wanted me here for the show. So let's do it.
The Wacky Wednesday. So you're having a wacky morning, no question about it.
Yeah, my eyes are burning. my throat hurts. My eyes. Hey, if you think I don't sound good, because I feel worse. I feel worse than I sound, so that's good.
Yeah. Well, let's get to some of these stories. We're going to change it up here a little bit today. And I hope you feel better here, Stefan. And so I'll do most of the talking, I suppose. But we want to change it up here a little bit because there's not enough wacky photos out there to supply a year's worth of Wacky Wednesday photos. So we're going to kind of change it up. And this is just part of our evolution of the show. Certainly, if you have somebody just rang my doorbell, by the way, that's wacky.
Wow.
So we're going to change it up here a little bit, and I have that Ring doorbell. I don't know if you've ever seen that or whatever. It goes to your phone or whatever when somebody's at the door, and you can kind of see who's at your phone or at your front door.
Like a periscope.
Like a periscope. There you go. So we're going to change it up and read some wacky stories that some realtors have written in. There's a website out there. I think it's Wacky or something. It's Crazy Real Estate Stories or something like that. And so we're going to read a couple of these here and see if you can relate, Stefan, because some of these you may have encountered yourself. So the first one here is best open house story you'll ever hear.
I'm ready.
Okay, so that's the title of this one. So I was hosting an open house of a nice ranch in a community with some peekaboo-like lake views. Lots of people in attendance, lots of great comments. One older couple was lingering for a really long time. Miss Buyer kept saying to Mr. Buyer how much she liked and how much she could see spending the rest of her life there. The crowd thins out till just me and the delightful older couple, the new favorite people in the whole world, as you'll see why. Miss Buyer asked if they could tell me a story. Mr. Buyer adds that they already know I don't have another open house. Of course, I oblige. Miss Buyer then tells me that 39 years ago, her husband got cancer and they gave him 6 months to live. She said, as they left the clinic that day, she told him, "Don't you dare leave me. We have 2 kids in college and a mortgage." As they approached their car, she spotted a shiny penny on the ground. She put it in his rosary pouch and said to leave it there until he is better. Obviously, it worked. Some time later, they took a long drive back to the clinic and put that shiny penny right back where they left it or found it. By then, I was crying. They were so cute and their story so touching. Then Miss Buyer asked Mr. Buyer, Can I tell her the rest of the story? So it's like a Paul Harvey kind of thing.
Yeah, the rest of the story. Yeah,
And
I'm ready.
now you know the rest of the story.
I like just to cut you off there. Paul Harvey would say, "Turn the page," or page two. You know how he does that?
Yeah, page 2.
He reads everything.
Paragraph 2.
Right.
I'm begging her at this point, hanging on to every word. She continues and says they built this house, the same one we're standing in. This house, the house I needed to sell. They built it in 1969 and raised their kids there. Then they asked if I could come and look at their condo and help them sell it so they could move back into their real home. Pretty crazy story, right? Has that ever happened to you? Where you've shown a house or had some kind of connection with a buyer to the house?
Yeah, because we do fix and flips, so it's not uncommon, and that's happened to me probably 3 or 4 times, where I've bought a house that's older and we've updated, taken out a couple walls, opened up the kitchen now because the older houses were all skin tight or whatever.
Yeah.
I've had it where the adult children showed up to where they were raised in this house to see what it looked like now, and they would tell me, it's so like heartwarming and empowering because they tell me like, oh, this is where we used to hide, and then they, that you can see them getting younger again, these 30, 40-year-olds, remembering when they were 5 and 8 and 10 years old, in the house. So I'm getting teared up just thinking about it. It could be the illness, but it could be the sickness, but my eyes are getting teared up for real. But yeah, it's so empowering to because the house is a home, and the home is its own part of the family, really.
Right.
So yeah, that's not a wacky story. It happens. See, I'm getting teared up, which is
no, it's touching. It is touching.
Great for readings. Right?
It's great for readings, right? It is a touching story, and this happens a lot. And I think over the past 8 years, a lot of families have been torn apart because of the economy and things like that. And so to hear these kind of stories is kind of touching.
What I was going to say is the illness has killed my testosterone, so this is all the estrogen coming out of my eyes right now. But this is a wacky Wednesday. You start with the Dalai Lama quote and start with a sad story.
Yeah,
it's not sad, but it's happy.
I just played the sound effect. Come again.
Right.
Testosterone. What? Okay, so next story here. This hopefully will not. We need to bring you back here a little bit, right?
Bring it back.
We'll bring it back here a little bit. Although I do have another story that I want to talk to you about off camera that I want to kind of showcase here on 22 minutes, but I need to do some research on it first. All right, so the next one here, the headline is Contractor Squeals Like a Little Girl. Okay, contractor squeals like a little girl. I was doing a showing on a particular house. This was the second home that I had brought my buyers to. It was beautiful. Nice updates, big fireplace in the living room, nice winding deck out back, backyard sloped down to the river. Just a magical house. On the second visit, my buyers decided to bring a contractor with them. They were thinking that it would be a better idea to get a second opinion on the remodeling and the price before they actually bought the house. The contractor decided to check the entire house from top to bottom. He went into the basement and around the crawl space, checked out the garage and the wiring and the flooring and everything else. Had to go out to his truck to get a ladder so that he could get up in the attic off the second floor. When he returned with a ladder, he climbed up in the attic, and after about 2 seconds, he squealed and then started laughing. My buyers, who were a younger couple, asked him what was so funny. He said, "There's something up there that you just probably need to see." And then he dropped down a snake skin through the hole for us to see. It was about 4 foot long, and according to the contractor, there were about 40 more just like it up in the attic. The most difficult thing to figure out was that there was a snake where was the snake that had made them? He couldn't find it anywhere. I stood there and laughed with him and the buyer and the buyer's husband, as such things have never bothered me. His wife literally ran screaming from the house. She did this weird little dance out in front of the yard just like she was covered in spider webs, and decided at that moment that she would never own this home. So, what's wacky about that? Have you ever encountered something during a home inspection where it just freaked out the buyer and they said, "Hey, no dice, nothing wrong with the house per se, but just something that you found maybe in the house"?
I had this one house in Buckeye. This is fun. I had this house in Buckeye, and go to the list of property, and I said it to the seller, anything I need to know about this property. and it was close to this dairy farm. He says, yeah, on Thursdays, um, on Thursdays they like it really stinks because they let the cows out or whatever the manure or
Yeah.
whatever. He's like, it's terrible. It's you can't stand it. So on the MLS description, I said no showings on Thursday. Is that wrong?
That's looking out for the seller, I suppose.
No, but what we did was I put it in the description, in the private remarks that there's it's near the farm or whatever. It smells once in a while, but
Yeah.
I'll probably get sued for that. But that's fine.
I think that was a call. Good call.
So because I knew that you walk the house. I mean, we've had it before where like I had this lady that didn't like dogs. I like dogs barking, but every other house has a dog. Like
right.
so it's a house you're not looking at. It doesn't have a dog. The two neighbors do, and so they're barking.
Yeah.
And so we just hop in, hop out, hop in, hop out. Finally, we're like, there's going to be dogs, so we got to just.
I'll tell you a funny story. My wife will probably kill me here, but when I lived in Ohio. Originally from Columbus, Ohio, there was a barking dog next door, and neighbors barking dogs, and this neighbor just ignored this dog. This dog barked all the time, and actually it was my neighbor's neighbor, I guess, a guy down the street or whatever, and his barking dog. And he would always complain to me about the barking dog. And so when we were over there, we're like, well, hey man, if you want to solve the barking dog problem, and he would do everything, like whistle at the dog. Hey, it's just me. No need to bark, whatever, trying to calm the dog down. And so eventually we just came up after a few beers, sitting on the back patio and just kind of doing guys talk or whatever and getting pissed off at the dog because you had to kind of yell over this to talk in the backyard. Yeah. And so he finally went inside, grabbed a whole thing of X-Lax, the little chocolate ones.
Oh no!
Threw them over the fence. He's like, that dog is gonna be taking number 2 more than he can bark.
Yeah,
this will solve the problem. He'll be busy doing something else.
Yeah.
So there you go. I don't recommend that, by the way. That's animal cruelty. That is animal cruelty.
I thought I was going to get in trouble, but I think yours is a little worse.
Yeah, I'm gonna have PETA shutting us down here on Facebook. I didn't do that. My neighbor did that. I didn't do that. Right. But I guess witnessing it, maybe, I don't know.
Not stopping it, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever.
What happened with the dog?
I don't know.
Did he get quiet? I mean, did he get quiet right away?
No, it didn't work. Finally, they called the police, and because the dog would bark at 11 o'clock at night. I mean, just ridiculous, man. So it was, if you got a barking dog, please attend to your barking dog.
Yeah.
Right? Don't leave your dog out there barking all day. Okay, so next story. Let's get into this next story here. We've got about 4 minutes, and I think this will be the last one here. This one is mistaken for a burglar. That's the title of this one. Mistaken for a burglar. Was scheduled to show a beachfront house in Oahu, Hawaii. The lockbox was not available. Heard that the owner's ex-boyfriend was constantly sabotaging showings, so I didn't think anything about it. The house was vacant and pretty much stripped of anything of value. Toilets, cabinetry, pretty much a shell of a house. Since the doors were locked and I couldn't find the lockbox, we decided to go in through the open window. My client went in and I followed. Then a man showed up and started screaming that I'm a burglar. Mind you, the house is completely void of anything other than the walls.
Nothing to steal, yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing to steal. I crawled out and tried to explain that I have confirmation from the lister to show, etc. But this man wouldn't let up. Then he called the police. Police arrived, and as I explained the situation, the listing agent arrived. Man was still crazy, didn't have authority to call the police as he wasn't the actual owner. But this guy insisted that I get handcuffed and taken in. By this point, my client was hysterical and crying. Man was still yelling with the cops, trying to calm him down. What a mess. True story.
Yeah.
So there you go. The realtor gets handcuffed while doing a showing in Hawaii.
I did have something similar.
Did you?
It was on my dad's birthday. My dad was in town. I think it was my dad's birthday, but I remember it's I think it's my dad's birthday. And we had a showing, and we had a brand new listing, and we had like 5 or 6 people lined up to go look at it.
Yeah.
But we kept getting called from the buyer's agents that the seller's not letting it show. and we already got permission to show.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm calling the buyer or the seller, and they're not answering. So I go to the house with my dad,
Mm-hmm.
and I knock on the door. There's a guy answers the door. Well, the owner is a woman, and so I'm like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "Well, sorry, sir, there's no showings today." He tells me. I go, "Yeah, there is." I go, "I'm the listing agent. I'm the one on the sign here. We got permission to sell this house today." Oh
Right.
no. He's like, I was in the shower, so because he was in the shower, someone came in,
Yeah.
because the seller was gone for the weekend, so that's why we got permission to keep showing. And so he comes out of the shower, he's like, no, 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 no showings, no showings. So people are embarrassed, and then so then I was like, well, who are you? He's like, well, who are you? I go, well, I'm the guy on the sign. I'm Stephen Cotton. See that name right there? That's me.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm Johnny or something. I go, Johnny. I go, that's not enough information. Like, you need to get out of this house because you're trespassing. No, I got permission from the owner. Well, we can't reach the owner because she's off backpacking somewhere, and so we can't verify this. I go, I need you to get out of this house because it's my job to protect this property. He's like, well, I need you to get out of here because I got permission. And so I was like headbutting stuff, and I was like, listen, man, you don't have the right to not let people into the property. That's not your say. We already got permission. And so I never learned his last name, but she really apologized when she came back. She's like, oh, I didn't know. He said he wanted to stay there for a day. I didn't know he was going to stay there all weekend, blah, blah, blah. But it was a whole huge mess. Like this guy, it's like that, some guy that didn't want to let people in.
Yeah, I can imagine that there can be some. Plus, if you have a neighbor, sometimes these neighborhood watches can be a little too good, I guess, maybe a little bit. I mean, some neighbors really peer and watch your every move. And so,
Judith, who gave me the carpool ride today because of my wacky story to get here, but she had somebody where they bought a house, and then as soon as they bought the house, like all the neighbors, somebody was murdered here, right?
Oh my!
Somebody was murdered here, right? And so, like, how many people?
Welcome to the neighborhood. I thought a fruitcake was involved with
like a handful of neighbors. Yeah, where were they during the whole inspection process to say, hey,
exactly,
somebody is murdered, right? But yeah, so yeah, those neighbors sometimes they help a deal and they hurt a deal. But I think people want to know if somebody was murdered in their house.
Yeah, I would think that would be something they would want to know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that pretty much wraps it up for today's Wacky Wednesday. Certainly, if you have a wacky story that you'd like to share with us, please write or contact us in the comments below on this video here. Head over to our Facebook page, like it, and then comment or direct message us right there on Twitter. Our Twitter handles are right above us. We certainly would love to speak with you. If you're out there on Periscope, throw us that love. Share with your friends and family. Certainly, everyone out there on YouTube, hey, give us that thumbs up. Share with your friends and family. More importantly, if you're looking to buy, sell, or refinance property, we want to be the team of choice. So please reach out to us. We'd love to help you with your American dream. So until next time, we do this Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Arizona time. Hopefully, Stefan will feel better tomorrow.
Yeah.
He's going to take a lot of emergency, maybe, or whatever it is that you're going to take.
I'll take a lot of something. I'll take a lot of, I'm not going to stop.
Peach schnapps.
There was the old joke about keep the beers coming every 5 minutes. If I fall down, then slow it down to 10 minutes.
Right.
But keep them coming.
Keep them coming. Keep them coming. So until then, everyone have a great day, and we will see you hopefully tomorrow, 9 a.m. Arizona time. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.